All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. All right, going to shoot this second video I'm doing from home. Obviously, can't get to work, can't get to my office to shoot the videos in my office, so I'm going to shoot them at home. I know the lighting is not the greatest in the world, but hopefully just bear with it for the next couple of weeks until we can get back to work. Make sure you check out some of our sponsors, GameStrat, the sideline replay system we use. If you're looking for a highly reliable, highly affordable sideline replay system, make sure you check out GameStrat. Great customer service, great company. I highly recommend it. JustPlayFB, which is the play drawing diagram tools that I use. All right, I will not draw plays with any other tool but JustPlayFB. It's digital software helping take your program to the next level. DifferenceUSA, which is the ultimate striking machine. You get thousands of reps striking without needing a partner. You don't need anybody holding a bag or a med ball. It's just you and the ultimate striking machine. You can attach it to your squat racks in the weight room. You can attach it to some of your field equipment outside. So you get thousands of reps working on elbows in, thumbs up, proper striking mechanics. So check out DifferenceUSA. Defensive Coordinator 1, an in-game app letting you make critical in-game adjustments based on actual live in-game data developed by a coach in Texas, Coach Sauer. Did a great job with it. Make sure you check out Defensive Coordinator 1. And then Dome Hats, which is a major sponsor of Play Fast Football, one of our main sponsors at our Play Fast Football Clinic. This is a Dome hat that they did for one of the All-Star games. All right, so make sure you check out Dome Hat. Every hat has a story. All right, it's custom, online hat builder. You can build a hat any way that you want to build it. Make sure you check out Dome Hats. All right, so today we're going to do a video on a buck sweep RPO that we used. Buck sweep was one of the best runs we had the last couple of years with some of the athletes we had as a perimeter run. We normally run it out of our two-back sets, and we normally run it to the two-receiver side because we can get the crack block on the inside backer from our slot receiver, and then the leverage of the play works out a little bit better to the two-receiver side. When we want to throw it or run it as an RPO, we run it away from the two-receiver so that we can make the slot receiver now the #1 choice in the RPO concept. And it's not as great of a run to the single side because of the fact that you lose a crack block from the slot. So now if we have to use the X as somebody that's going to crack versus an 8-man front, which we see a ton of 8-man fronts versus our two-back sets. If we're going to crack, we either have to crack the overhang or we have to crack the will. And one way or the other, we're going to be left with two players kind of outside or almost ahead of the guards pulling that make the leverage of the play a little bit more difficult. So as a run by itself to the single side, I'm not fully in love with it against 8-man front stuff. There are some fronts that I like it against. But one of the reasons we carry the buck sweep RPO to the single receiver side is buck sweep was one of the few plays we had where both guards pulled. All right, so we had power where a guard pulled. We used to run counter where a guard pulled. We had dart where a tackle pulled. But on buck sweep for us, normally 99% of the time, both guards are going to get out. All right, or I should say probably 90% of the time, depending on how we run it. Most teams set the 3 technique to our sniffer. So if we have the 3 technique to the sniffer, we're going to get both guards out. If we get an open B gap, all right, and an A gap player to the side of the buck, then we will use the front side guard to down block the A gap. The the front side tackle would go all the way back to the backside backer because there's nobody in the B gap on that track. So we would only pull one guard if we had an open B gap to the play side. Most of the time we get the 3 technique to the side of the sniffer, which means to the play side of the buck, we're going to have a B gap player that we're going to have to down block with the tackle, all right, and then we're going to have to seal with the sniffer. And now when both guards get left out, if we crack the weak safety, the first guard's going to have to get out to the corner, second guard's going to have to wrap on the will. The problem is the will in the front side A gap, if he runs right now, he's going to be tough for that backside guard to get to all the time. So I'm not fully in love with the buck sweep to the single. But what it does is it gives us a way to slow down the linebackers a little bit, because now that backside backer is the guy we will read for the RPO. And if he's somebody that when guard pulls away from him, he wants to run like heck because he knows that we're a buck sweep, or buck sweep's one of our best runs, and he knows when the guard pulls, he can go. If he's keying that guard and he wants to run really hard, we can slow that down by running the RPO to the slot receiver, where we kind of run, it's almost, in theory, it's not a drag route or a climb route, but in theory, it's very similar because it's kind of we tell that slot receiver that he's got to win and occupy the space that the Mike leaves. So he's got to get under that Sam and then into where the Mike would have the area that the Mike vacated. All right, so I call it a win route. I know a lot of people might have different terminology for what they call a win route. very similar to drag or climb concepts where you got to go under Sam, over Mike. But we're just trying to get into that window that the Mike, all right, would have occupied. And if he runs really fast and we want to throw the ball back behind him, all right, to the slot receiver. Now, it was a good play for us last year. It didn't run it a ton, but we ran it enough to where we completed it a few times, but at the same time, it slows down the thought process a little bit for those linebackers to say that if they flat out pull the guards and I flat out run, they have some things that can happen behind me. Now, I know what you're going to say, all right, logically thinking, if that Mike runs to stop the buck, they've got to have other ways to deal with that slot. I get it. This makes them play man-free, or it makes them possibly change coverages, which is a win for an offensive coordinator. When you run RPOs, if other teams have to go to man or man-free, a lot of people will talk about, well, if they go to man or man-free, you don't really have your RPOs anymore. And that's an argument for another day. But at the same time, what I will say is if they go to man or man-free because of your RPOs, as an offensive coordinator, you're always trying to find ways to dictate things to the defense. If you can dictate the coverages that they have to play because of the RPOs that you run, then you've already kind of won the battle, and now you know that you can come up with a lot of your things to beat man or man-free coverage. So as a coordinator, if you can dictate that they play man or man-free because of the RPOs, I think you're already winning the battle, even though some people would say RPOs kind of go by the wayside a little bit versus man coverage, because how can you read somebody for a run-pass conflict if they don't have a conflict because it's man-to-man? Okay, so that's our buck sweep to the single receiver side. Nothing fancy. We don't change the routes to the front side. The only thing we will do is if we're playing teams that give us a lot of press coverage, and we like our Z receiver, we'll change to a go route here, and the quarterback can automatically go to the go route one-on-one if he likes the matchup, press coverage versus our Z. Other than that, we run a fin, all right, 5-yard in with the Z, so that if they start to really stop the slot from getting inside, or if they're carrying the slot inside, and now the Mike leaves, so the quarterback has to throw the RPO, but they're carrying the slot, we can go back to the fin. We don't draw up a lot of other routes to that concept. All we want to do is get the slot where the Mike came from, slow down the Mike when he wants to run with the guard pull. Remember that RPOs are just trying to take advantage of throwing the ball where pass defenders that are responsible for a certain pass coverage have left because of their run responsibility. You don't need 17 routes. You don't need to get all fancy with your RPOs. You only need a couple things, because the bottom line is get this player here, however you want to do it. All right, I'm not here to tell you how to do it. You can do it however you want. I'm not here to tell you exactly what they call that route. We tell our kids it's a win. You got to win inside that Sam and occupy that area where the Mike came from. All right, so don't get crazy with the route combinations. The bottom line is take advantage of a Mike that wants to run with guard pulls by throwing the ball behind him. All right, guys, hope you're all staying safe out there. I hope you're finding ways to occupy your time, and hopefully none of you have been affected not only physically by the coronavirus, but hopefully not economically. I know there's a lot of things going on economically with people in the business world right now. Stay safe out there. Do everything that you're supposed to be doing. If you do get a chance to go outside, make sure you wash your hands, take care of yourself. I appreciate everything you guys do for Play Fast Football. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Turn the notifications on so you know when we do a video. Every time we do one, you'll get a notification. Thumbs up, thumbs down, like the video, dislike it, lets us know, all right, through your interactions, what content you want us to put out. And as always, comment. I respond to as many messages as I can, as long as I can see them on my end. Stay safe out there. This too shall pass. We'll all get through it. Football will happen again, guys. Don't rush to get back to it. Don't panic in your free time. Study, learn, relax. All right, take a break, get healthy, stay healthy. I'll see you guys next time.